Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be doing a review on the movie The Star. Yes, I'm going to be doing a review on this. We're actually getting closer to being done with Sony Pictures animation movies. Now they have added a couple more since then. But I'm basically going to keep... Well, both them and DreamWorks have done that, but DreamWorks has not really been, like being open about their films lately. They've not been advertised as well. And one of their movies, Megamind 2, well, technically I've already known about this, but I figured I might as well address it. That it came out of nowhere, it became a movie, at the last minute, so yeah, I mean, I hear that film's not very good, so I'm gonna be watching it for a review, but that's something I'm not looking forward to on DreamWorks' side. But for right now, we still have, a lot of films to go to before we get to the end of the list, especially with DreamWorks, because Sony Pictures Animation is gonna be done first. And yeah, we're gonna talk about this movie here, The Star. But before we do that, remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, so you guys can keep up with my videos, and you guys can follow me on Instagram and other platforms, like Twitter. I'm on Twitter too. And that's pretty much it. I might be finding some more platforms to go around to, but right now I'm mainly just going with Twitter and Instagram. But, yeah, so yeah, anywho, let's go ahead and get started with this review. So, this is the movie The Star. You may be asking yourself, what is this movie about? What is The Star about? Because I don't think it's really talked about a lot. Heck, when I was reviewing this, it was watching the movie. That was my very first time watching this movie. And all that. Apparently this movie is about Mary and Joseph having Jesus, baby Jesus. And on top of that, we have talking animals and all that too. Which I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not sure if these are the same people that made, the early DreamWorks movies, like, King of Thieves and all that, and King of Dreams and whatnot, I'm not sure if they were made by the same people or not. The reason why I say that is because this movie kinda, I don't know, the art style kinda looks like it could belong in there, but like, I don't know, the art style of the humans kind of look like they could be 2D animation of, from those films, but I don't know. I could be wrong, it could be made by a different person too, but either way, this is kind of a religion movie, And I gotta say, I don't know, I'm gonna say this right now, unlike, I've told you guys that the other reviews, I'm not the biggest fan of religion, I don't really care for religion that much. Like, I don't mind people having their own beliefs, but I'm not really into it, a lot, so that's kind of why I don't watch a lot of that, that stuff. Like, I don't think I've watched a lot of VeggieTales because of that. I mean, I may like it now that I'm older, but I never really got into that stuff when I was little. But yeah, I'm not really a religion person. It doesn't mean I don't have my own beliefs, like everybody else, but I honestly do not believe in, I don't believe in, Jesus Christ having these powers and all that, but again, it's my own opinion. I mean, I actually believe more into ghosts. I'm more of a ghost person. I believe in ghosts. That's what I believe in, but like I said, you guys can believe whatever you guys want. It's your guys' opinion, as long as you guys are respectful. But I will say that this movie, though, honestly, this movie, I actually don't think it's that bad. I think this movie is actually pretty neat. Because, we have, our main characters, well, I don't know, like, who would classify as a main character, the donkey, or which his name is, Bo, his name's Bo, or, Moses and, Mary, I really don't know, how they would classify, I mean, I don't know, but either way, we do have them, we have, Mary and Joseph trying to, find somewhere to deliver the baby, and then we have, Bo, the donkey, which I don't remember if that's actually his actual name, like, I don't know if he actually had a name before that or not, but he came from, like, an animal abuser, who had, like, him, like, chained up and all that. He appeared a few times throughout the movie, but he really didn't have a lot of screen time. He kind of just, like, I don't know, he just doesn't really have a lot of screen time. They don't really focus on him. That's the problem with this movie, I will say, is a downgrade, is a complaint, They focus on way too many animals. Like, I don't mind the sheep and her and, Bo and the bird. I don't mind them, but, they have, these camels and all that are in there. I guess it makes sense for them, technically, because, technically, that's what the three wise men, rode and all that. But then we have, the other guy finds him, he gets locked up, and there's, these other animals, which, by the way, don't have anything to do with the movie. They're only there for, a brief second. I guess it's because Mary delivered Jesus, Jesus in a barn, which I guess that might make sense. But yeah, basically that's what they, what they do. So I guess that's why they have the barn animals, but I'm like, I kind of wish they would have been shown a bit more, maybe, instead of just, and they're kind of annoying, too. They're kind of I don't really care for them that much. We have the singing, horse, she's kind of annoying, and, this and that, it's just there's, too many animals. There's way too many of them to focus on, which we don't get a lot of screen time with some of them because of that. But I will say that I do think, I do like Bo. He is an interesting character. He wants to, this entire movie, he wants to be free and, go to this parade, and he ends up going back with Mary and Joseph at the end of the movie, so that they end up becoming family, pretty much. We got that, and then we got the dynamic, with Bo and Joseph. Joseph, basically, had his, stuff. I mean, he had, he didn't really like the donkey. He thought the donkey was just, he didn't want to keep the donkey, but Mary did, and all that. I'm not gonna lie, I think Mary is probably one of the sweetest characters on any, movie I've seen. She's really sweet. I really like her. She's a really good character. I don't know what her last name would be, I don't know, what would Joseph and Mary's last name be, And if you guys want, you guys can maybe point that out in the comments, because I'm really curious what their last names are, what's Mary and Joseph's last name, Because like I said, I don't really believe in this stuff, but, but I have seen books and all that with this stuff in there, but, I just never, never got into it, but I've seen books. I just never seen their last name. So, yeah, but, Mary and Joseph, though, they really are, a good couple. I think they are. and all that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not kidding here, we actually have a villain in this movie too. We have a villain. We actually have a couple villains. We have the abuser animal guy, which by the way doesn't really have a lot of screen time. Then we have the king, the old king, and that wants Mary and all that dead. And then we have the bounty hunter guy, who by the way is probably the coolest villain in the movie. It could also be because he has the most screen time too, because they really the king and all that, he has no screen time. Basically he was sending the wise men, basically using them, tricking them, tricking he was tricking the three wise men of going to find the baby and making sure it's protected and all that, but basically he wanted them to tell him where it's at, and all that, so he can, basically he wanted to trick them into, thinking the baby would be safe and Mary, he can, go after him later. But he never appears again in the movie. He has a couple scenes, that they cut to, but he never appears again. But I don't know the name. I don't know the name of this this bounty hunter guy. I don't think I heard his name. I don't know if he actually had a name. He actually doesn't speak. He doesn't speak at all. The dogs speak. He is literally silent, which I found kind of interesting. I was thinking they were gonna throw a couple lines at him, but no, he doesn't really speak at all in there. So yeah, basically, but he is a cool villain. I like how strong he is. He's a little threat. He's literally a threat. He can do a lot of he's strong and all that, and he doesn't kill anybody. But I'm fine with him not killing anybody, but he gets pretty close at times and all that, and But yeah, he actually does, believe it or not, too, he also has a fate. He gets killed. We actually see a villain actually die in this movie, which honestly is very rare now these days. We hardly see any villains actually meet their demise anymore. I've talked about this back in my Blue Sky, videos. I don't know if I've mentioned it since, but in the Blue Sky, films, I talked about, one of them that I did a review on, I talked about how we don't see a lot of villain deaths anymore. They were really iconic. It's so satisfying, seeing our villain, kind of getting killed and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, them being punished, insultingly ways, in Hotel Transylvania 2, for example, they have them, they have the bad guy there at the end, he gets his comeuppance at the end, where he gets licked to death and chased around by the dogs. I mean the werewolf pups. So yeah, there's stuff like that, but I feel like having these satisfying villain deaths was also pretty nice too. Because we really don't get that anymore, so it's nice to see that, we'll occasionally get a villain death, but not as often as we used to. But it's still pretty nice, and all that to have this. But yeah, I don't know, it's just, there's a lot to this movie, but like I said, it's got problems with it. Like I said, they focus too much on the animals and whatnot, and I feel like there's too many of them. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind having animal scenes. It's better than them being together and constantly going back and forth, because that's just kind of annoying, having to listen to the animals make animal sounds and then the humans talking back and forth, and it's just really annoying. But I'm glad they didn't do that in this movie. there actually will be a Sony Pictures animated movie coming up where they actually do that, which is kind of annoying, but we still have a little ways to go before we get to it. But, I don't know what else to really say here. I'm probably going to go ahead and just give it a score, because honestly, I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. Well, actually, I'll talk about something else. There's actually 2 more things I'll talk about, but let me get the score out of the way first. So, this movie honestly gets a meh for me. Yep, a meh. Yes, a meh. But it's definitely a meh for me. I think it's got really good moments I like, and I like how they try to recreate the story. I kind of like that, like, not just copy and paste the story, they actually kind of show it in the animals, perspective. But I feel like this movie's kind of rushed. It feels like there's a lot of characters that don't get screen time as much. Like I said, the old king, the villain, he doesn't get a lot of screen time. And then we have, we have the barn animals at the end of the movie that only have a couple lines, and that's it. So yeah, we really don't get a lot of that. And also like even though Bo got taken in by the animal abuser guy, which I don't know his name, but he got taken in there and all that, but he got taken into that, but honestly he never really goes we never see the older donkey that's in there. Like they never bring him up again. So did he die, or did he he escape? I don't really know. There's a lot of scenes like that, but I still think it's a very heartwarming film. Just not a good film, but mess doesn't mean I necessarily hate it and wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't mind watching this again, but I don't think I'd watch this movie all the time. This wouldn't be a movie I'd watch a lot. But I wouldn't mind coming back to this film every so often and watching it. Oh, and speaking of, watching it, yeah, I was watching it on DVD, and this is one of the 2 things I want to mention here. That literally, the previews are, really long. They are really long in this movie. They got so many previews for movies and all that, it's crazy. I think it goes on for, 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes, maybe 10, I don't know, it's a long time. And I thought the live-action Yogi Bear DVD was like that. Because, yeah, the live-action Yogi Bear movie is like that. It's like that. It'll basically, there's a lot of previews before the movie, which is unusual for a movie, but even that one didn't have, I don't think it took as long as this one. I was letting it play in the background while I was cleaning up some stuff, and it just took forever. It took forever to get through it. But, yeah, I don't know, I can always skip it, but still, well, if you're watching it on a Blu-ray player, you can't skip it for some reason as easily. Or I don't know, or actually, no, I'm thinking about a DVD player. No, the Blu-ray player, for some reason, I have a play button, but it doesn't work for some reason. We still have our Blu-ray players. We just haven't used them in a while. Probably need to work on using them again, but probably gonna have to update the internet or something on there. That's the problem. A lot of these older devices, don't work well with the internet anymore. But, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, though, I still go back and watch DVDs and all of that. It's fun. It's actually a lot safer to have DVDs. Now, I've talked about this before. There's, disc rot and all that I heard about. But I don't know, what exactly, how that happens. I don't know, because I've had I've used my disc so many times and they still work. Like, I would go back and watch Ice Age, which is a Blue Sky Studios film that I was talking about earlier, Blue Sky. Even though it's not as well known, it wasn't really that film I brought that stuff up. It was a different film, brought that stuff up from earlier, but it's still, a really good film, and I go back and watch it all the time. Like, it's really good. Like, it's heartwarming like this. It's got goofy moments like this. So in a way, it's kind of like this. But I think though Ice Age is definitely way better though, in my personal opinion, because I like the whole snow effect, and then I like how we see one of the villains actually we see the villains is like when a movie actually like gain respect and actually grow over time in the film. Now, speaking of which, we do get that with these wolf dogs, or dogs in this movie, too, from that bounty hunter guy. Like, I just feel like it's kind of out of nowhere. Like, he was going to save them and all that. I guess maybe they redeemed himself, but then, I saw this coming before that bounty hunter guy, met his demise. I was like, he's gonna ditch him and try to save himself. It's what he's gonna do. But yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere, but I still don't think it's that bad. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like, again, a lot of the stuff in this movie's kind of rushed a little bit. But yeah, I don't know, but I still think this movie's still pretty good. It's just not great, in my opinion. It's just an alright movie, but it was close to getting a good, but like I said, some scenes kind of were, some scenes were kind of rushed and all that, but I still think it's still a good film. But the last thing I want to mention before I let things go from here, I want to mention the last thing in this movie, and sorry, I was hearing my dog running upstairs, just trying to figure out what's going on. But anyway, I was trying to say that I actually got my other phone working, so I'm gonna try to start using it in the future. I just have to fiddle around with it and try to figure out what's going on, with the film. I mean with the the camera and all that, so I can figure it out. But so right now I'm trying to get other stuff done, so I haven't necessarily got to all that. But I don't know. But I think I'm going to go ahead and let things go from here, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.